I'll be like, what?
This hangout on air is live.
What's going on, guys?
Start to.
It's live.
All right, well, I gotta first make sure it's live because I right now see just a black screen for me. It's kind of how it always is. Still black screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I see actual live stuff. Okay, so we're good to go. Everyone ready to go?
Pretty much.
All right.
Yeah.
So, hey everyone, welcome to another great Otaku A Team podcast. I am joined by some of the coolest people around. Say hello, everyone.
Hey.
Yo.
And if you can't tell, today specifically, we're talking about ReZero episode 25, which is the last episode of the season, maybe the series. We're not sure yet because they haven't announced a second season. Yeah, we have Nate over there showing his shirt, which is actually a really freaking cool shirt.
I was just stretching, bro.
No, but I'm just saying,
I was showing it off too. I was showing it off too, baby.
Flexing, dude.
But yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna try to keep this as professional as we can because honestly, we all have strong feelings. Shut up, man. We all have strong feelings about the episode.
Just keep in mind that we're all entitled to our wrong opinion.
Yeah, no, we're all entitled to our opinions regardless. We'll try to keep it civil. You know, do the same thing in the comments. People, don't be saying anything rude or because I'll kick you right out right away. To be honest with you.
Pretty sure most of us have high praises for this series anyway.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Right, for the most part, yeah. But I
we
know
don't want any negativity. You can have your opinion, but there's certain ways that some people sometimes come across that it's not even your opinion at certain points.
Exactly. You know, just keep it. You know, you could say you don't like the episode. You could say maybe you don't like the series or whatever. Just keep it, you know, calm. That's all. Just don't be like, I hate that.
No personally attacking others. Right. No.
And we have to kind of say that because this is a really big series. It's one of the bigger series of the year in general. So, you know, people love to have their opinions on it and love to say rude things to people. So that's why we're doing this right away. But anyways, we're going to talk about what I consider my favorite anime now of all time, to be honest. This is my favorite now.
Really?
It's actually, it has surpassed Clannad, which Clannad was always my top anime. It's been like that for maybe 15 years. And
wow.
Yeah, and then ReZero just came along and went, you know what? Sorry, I'm pushing that stuff. Clannad's gonna be underneath me.
Damn.
But how would you guys like to start? Do you want to start talking about just the episode overall? What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's talk about the episode and then we'll go with our overall thoughts on the series.
So I say we could all talk over one another, but at the same time, if someone says something and you cut them off, apologize. Don't be rude about it.
Yeah,
We'll all try to do that. It's kind of hard. People understand that it is tough to have 4 people in a room talking at the same time, and it's to keep it kind of at a certain level. It's sometimes hard, but that's just how it is.
Especially when we're all passionate about something. And
exactly.
all want to say what's on our minds and stuff.
Exactly, and it's fair, but that's just how it is. So don't be that's disorganized and blah. No, it's not disorganized. It's just how it is. But I'm gonna say right now, I love this episode. I'll start off by saying that right away. I freaking love this episode.
Same, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. You do not agree. Come on, be honest.
I do. I like the episode. I mean, we'll talk about the ending once we get to the ending, but I like the episode.
Okay. Oh, so you mean like the ending of the whole series, you mean? Is what your issue is?
The ending of this episode.
Okay. Well, I actually felt that the title, by the way, I know, let's talk about that because we have some different opinions on that. I actually love the title of the thing. What was it exactly? And this is what it's all about. I felt that
that's all this story was about or is about or something like that. Yeah,
I love that title, man. I think it fits the show so perfectly with the last episode, honestly.
Yeah, when I first freaking read it before doing my reaction on Crunchyroll, I was like, oh, sent chills down my spine just from reading the episode title, honestly. Like, I'm not even kidding at all.
Oh, by the way, I just realized it's 9 years since Clannad. I'm sorry. You're right, Florian.
What do you say?
I just realized that. I was like, wait. Yeah.
I was so long since something
Shut up, Travis, like bullshit. Like, I was thinking you were wrong.
I seen it when it came out. I
saw when it came out too, yeah. I just
think you're like 15 years.
No, I was around that age. That was when I was 17 years old. That's why. So,
it's just been so long since something came along and was better than Clannad, so
exactly, like nothing.
You forgot.
I've had shows come close, but never like the same way as this show did. That's the thing about it. So let's start off with the positives about this episode. What do you think was positive about this episode? How do you, for a whole series finale, essentially right now at least, because again, no season 2 has been confirmed. I mean, people are talking about the light novel not being done, of course, and how this has a whole bunch of more potential to go further in the story and the plot and all that. How do you feel this wrapped up the whole season at least, or maybe just the series in general?
Can I give my thoughts? Are we going to talk about the ending too? Are we going to talk about the ending?
You can talk about what you want. Yeah, you can talk about
okay. All right, so I'll give my overall thoughts about the episode.
Go for it.
I actually really liked the episode, to be honest. I especially love the Emilia x Subaru scene. I like that. I mean, I'm more of a Rem guy, obviously, but
I think most people
I'm pretty sure most of us here are Rem.
Right. But most of us are still Team Rem.
Right. But like that scene was beautiful. I really liked that scene. Now, when it came to the overall ending, I was just very surprised. Like, I was doing my video on it, and I was just very surprised that that's how the way the series wrapped up, because I was like, this isn't the ending I was expecting. I thought there was going to be some sort of like cliffhanger that would lead us to a second season. But you got to keep in mind that the fact that apparently at this given point in time, the anime has already caught up to the light novels.
Yeah.
So
that's what the anime was following.
Right.
Yes.
The anime wasn't following the web novels or anything like that, because there's like, I think arcs like 4 to 6 or something like that, or out like on the web or whatever, like web novels. But the anime wasn't going off that. But there is more content. It's just a matter of time until.
Yeah. I think due to the fact that it's like where the anime is at right now in its current state, opposed to the light novels, we're not going to be seeing a second season for ReZero for a few years. We're just not. Sure. However, they can animate probably like the If novels or the EX
side
novels,
stories,
stories on Wilhelm and all that stuff. They could do that, which would be
OVAs probably
maybe like an OVA series or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Just to awesome. Keep the fans on hold for that second season. But we're definitely not going to be seeing a season 2 for a while. But when it comes to my overall opinions, like, I love the episode. I was very surprised by ReZero as a whole. It's just, it wasn't the ending that I was expecting, because if anything, I expected a bittersweet ending, but we kind of got like a happy ending. And then that ending at the where the title said, "This is all the story is about." Like, I was like, they had the audacity in order to put that at the end, because I know there's more content, and even people are saying that some content was left out, especially regarding Satella. So, I mean, I liked the episode. It's just the ending wasn't what I expected, but I love the series overall.
That's what it was about, saving and protecting Emilia, pretty much.
I mean, think about it this way, right? This is what I think. In the very first episode, right, we're introduced to Emilia. That even if when she's using the moniker Satella, of course, to try to do whatever she's doing with that name, we're introduced to her, and Subaru right away has kind of interesting feelings for her. Now, over the course of 25 episodes, even when Subaru has been in different places, not near Emilia in general, he's always shown her love. He's always shown her himself thinking about her and wanting to be there for her and protect her. That's why that title for me has such a significant value, because that is really what this has all been about. This has been about Subaru loving Emilia, wanting to protect her from everything, always trying to get back to her side and to find that love between the two. And it did just that. And that's why that title fits perfectly. It's not a slap in the face. It is technically what this show has been all about.
Yeah. And like everything that we saw Subaru go through and what he's done, Emilia being there or not, everything he was doing was for Emilia. The shit with the cult, the shit with the white whale, everything that went down throughout the whole series was all for Emilia. Like how Subaru was growing as a character himself. He was trying to better himself for Emilia, because we remember that episode when both of them were in the bedroom and Subaru was bawling his eyes out. They were screaming at each other. It was just emotions running rampant. And from that point on, we just see like Subaru, especially from that point on, Subaru went through this huge sort of transformation, like with his character and how he acts and how he carries himself. He's more of like a leader. Subaru's never been like a fighter. We all know that. But just in the past couple of episodes, the last few episodes, we saw him literally plan all this stuff and carry out with those plans. And obviously, we know Return by Death helped with all of that. But just seeing like him like strategizing all of this stuff, bringing all these people together, negotiating, he wasn't able to do that before. And towards the end of the series, look what he fucking did. He accomplished everything he set out to accomplish, and that was to protect, save Emilia. And obviously, a lot of us don't know like what's to come. There are people who have read on and they know what's going to happen. But for now,
no spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah, you're fine.
And the side thing, that I just realized that. Don't do that, please.
And I was going to say, like, as of now, after episode 25, Subaru has, like Emilia said, the last line of the whole thing. Thank you for saving me, Subaru. That's what we saw there. Yeah.
I still think that episode 18 was probably the best episode we've seen all year, though.
And it was dialogue between two characters.
Yeah, right.
That's what I compared it to. I compared like the last scene with Emilia and Subaru. It definitely felt like that like the whole episode. Like 18 was them talking the whole time. Obviously, it was shorter in this last episode, but it was like Subaru and Rem talking there. It was just bringing me back to that kind of, but it was Emilia talking to Subaru instead of.
Amelia's voice sounded like Rem's voice at some points.
That's very true, man. I agree with you.
Their voice actresses are, and it felt like I may be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure like Emilia was saying like kind of some of the same things Rem was back in episode 18. Like I want to go back and see that because I think if I remember correctly, she was like some of the dialogue she was saying was like the exact same dialogue that like Rem was saying, like some of the little things here and there.
I mean, some of this, but that's kind of to be expected. I mean,
but still, I'm just saying it was kind of cool to like see that, and just because of that whole episode 18 and how beautiful it was, and just it was two characters talking the whole time.
And I'm not going to bash anyone for this, but episode 18, right? I know a lot of people loved episode 18 because Team Rem, excuse me. But the thing is that it makes you wonder. Is that why some people also disliked Emilia in the last episode? Because I know there are people probably like, oh, this is terrible because of Emilia essentially hooking up with Subaru. It's like, can you really I'll ask you guys this. Do you think you could compare the two episodes, honestly?
Wait,
one's good.
No, it's not even just that. It's just more so because there's someone to say it's greater because of the dialogue between Rem and Subaru versus the dialogue between Emilia and,
No,
Subaru
I'm not salty about it, honestly, because you knew from the beginning that, Rem wasn't really going to get a chance in that sense.
Yeah.
You knew that Subaru was going to always love Emilia because of the story.
But
so you can't really be salty about it. I mean, she is like is she a main character or is she considered supporting? I don't know.
Who, Rem?
Yeah, Rem. She's supporting.
I'd say she's the main.
Yeah,
sort of main, because she was in quite a lot of episodes as the main focus and whatnot. But I'm definitely not salty about it because of where it was heading anyway. And I still like Emilia. She did get kind of annoying in the first arc. She said Subaru's name 50 times an episode. It was just unbelievable. I was getting so annoyed with it. But I mean, when she was out of it for a bit. Yeah, when she was out of it for a little bit, and then you see her again, you're kind of like, oh, okay, thank God she's back a bit, because we didn't see her for like 4 or 5 episodes in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see her again. I think she's a great character. I love the ending scene of it, and all the characters in ReZero, by the way, have been fantastic.
Dude. Yeah.
Wilhelm, I'm pretty sure that's his name. That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
He is probably one of my, or if not my favorite character in the series. He's incredible.
He has climbed the fucking ladder,
dude. And that's backstory of his with his wife is just incredible.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely,
you're bringing me back to that.
I still love that episode.
Wilhelm is just such a good character. Probably one of my all-time favorite characters, honestly. But yeah,
he's definitely up there, man.
I want to say this because I see who is that? Is that Jerome? I see him in the chat. He also commented on my video. He said, this kind of actually made me laugh a little bit.
Okay.
He said, Subaru can say 2,000 good things about Emilia. Is Subaru the hands? And I said Illuminati confirmed. But,
that's crazy.
but yeah, I think there was like a statement like early on saying that the unseen hand has about 2,000 hands or something like that. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we knew, like Subaru comes into this fantasy world, right? Who's the first person he sees?
Emilia.
Amelia. You
Right.
should have known from like that point on. And it was kind of like a love at first sight type of deal for
Yeah,
Subaru. Maybe it wasn't returned from Amelia at that moment there, and she.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say now she completely like loves him, because even like Subaru was talking about it, Subaru was saying in this last episode, he was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes for you to love me,
Like
and
slowly fall in love
Yeah.
or something like that.
yeah, and Amelia's like, she even said she's never had anyone say like they love me before. And like she was like, but I'm a witch, I'm a half elf. She's just been like discriminated and kind of looked down upon by a lot of people. And that's probably what's pushed a lot of people away from her. It has.
You know what's funny? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, agreeing with you on that concept is that, Amelia, if you're an outcast or seen as an outsider by most people, one thing that's going to happen is you're not going to understand someone's, showing their affections to you if you yourself don't fully understand what that emotion is, because it's never been conveyed to you. She talks about at the very end itself that she's not used to people saying they love her.
Right.
And the thing is that, she even apologizes that she's not going to be able to fully understand certain things about the world because she's not worldly. So that means that she, if they ever go to her backstory, I can only presume that she's always been in a kind of sheltered life.
Yeah.
And that being said, imagine now you telling someone I love you and they've never heard that word before. What does that mean? Those three words have power to them. Yeah, for the person saying them. But if you don't fully understand them, you might grasp the concept of the happiness from it, the caring for it, but you don't fully understand them. So, I mean, I find that her personality, because of that, it's awesome because it goes so true to what she is.
Definitely. Yeah. You want to add anything on that, Miles? No.
No, I think I'm good.
What about you, Travis? You good?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
All right. So I think we should talk. Okay, so we talked about the episode. Let's talk about overall. I think the whole series. Like, were there any episodes you loved, hated, or felt kind of were a weaker part of ReZero in general?
I think the first beginning episodes of ReZero were weaker for me at least, because as you know, I originally dropped ReZero.
Right.
As it was airing, but by episode 15. That's when everybody started saying, oh, you know what, ReZero is getting really good. You should definitely try to give it a second chance. I did that, and I think marathoning the series was just a whole different experience for me in general. So that's what made me, get invested in the series, because when it was airing, just week by week, I just wasn't as into it as everybody else. Right. But as I got caught up, like, I just really got invested and really liked the series. But yeah, when it was airing, the first beginning episodes for me was not really the best.
I'd probably say like the weakest episode was 1A.
Right.
Yeah.
But even that wasn't bad for me, honestly. Like,
I don't think straight away.
I don't think I hated like one episode of ReZero, honestly.
No.
Like
I think there were weaker episodes. Like
there were weaker ones, but I cannot say I ever hated an episode.
Was it like 20-something? I think it was one of the ones where I felt the beginning was really... That was the one with Ram using her illusion magic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I felt that episode in the beginning was the weakest, like, of any opening episode for, like, the whole series. But I agree with you. I don't think there was any episode that felt like it was not needed. And that's why I'm telling people why I love the show so much, because it's... if you guys think about this, how often can you say that out of a 25-episode series, or even 12 or whatever, that every episode you liked for the most part, even if it's okay episode or if it's not that great, you still had no issues with the whole thing. And that's for me. I felt all 25 episodes were solid. They provided something for it. Yep. They were all really good. I mean, it made me want to watch next week's episode over and over.
Yeah, I never felt like helped with that too.
Yeah, but a good you can do cliffhangers, but you can do really piss poor cliffhangers that make you just pissed off.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was a bad cliffhanger. It was more so I want to see what happened. Oh God, I need to see.
Yeah, it
what
was
happened.
like all of ReZero's cliffhangers are like that, dude.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Yep.
Like episode. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, people who like are waiting until it's done. Obviously, it's done now. They're freaking lucky because they can just storm through the episodes. We had to wait. We had to wait a week each time, you know. So it's like,
man.
But that's the experience of it.
yeah,
really.
yeah.
Like, the
That's a whole
full
different thing
experience.
to it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like watching it ongoing is really good because the cliffhangers they get you every time, and you're just anticipating the next episode, then the next episode. Because there was like I don't even know how many episodes in a row there was a cliffhanger. Probably like
Dude, I mean, honestly, almost all of
18
them.
episodes in a row, something like that. And then all of a sudden, it slows down a little bit. Well, it never really slows down, so to say. But like there wasn't any cliffhangers. Well, yeah, there wasn't any cliffhangers at the endings on like some of the episodes that we saw. But it was like a nice change of pace, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All around 10 out of 10.
For sure.
I agree with that. 10 out of 10, man, for me. We'll talk more about that though. I think our final thoughts.
Yeah.
But anyone else want to add anything to that?
Let's talk about Satella.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So Satella. Yeah. I mean, my theory for that.
Dude, how salty was fucking Beetlejuice, man?
He's like, you're not the one.
You are not the one. She said swerve. Fuck out.
Dude,
Yo,
he turned into some like fat spider thing.
That's the only thing I had issues with, dude. I talk about it too. I had issues.
That
with
was like
man.
some shit out of Mayoga, dude.
Dude, he ain't got
Yeah,
no
but I had
eyes
issues
or
with
anything.
that.
He's like, what the frick's going on here?
I was like, this fucker will not give up, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And then when Subaru killed him and Subaru was like, I forget exactly what he said, but he was like, hopefully that'll be the last of you or something like that. He said something along those lines.
Yeah.
I was like, who knows? This fucking dude will probably pop up somewhere again.
Yeah.
And I guarantee he will somewhere later down the line. That's just me making a prediction, though.
I don't
because
disagree with that though.
I cannot see that dude being gone. He just, like, so many times we've thought he was gone, but he wasn't. So,
I have issues with how he was killed though. Like to me, that was the only part of the whole episode I didn't like because it looked like he was being absorbed by the wheel of the caravan. It was like, is the wheel eating him? I don't understand because he disappears in the wheel. I'm like,
unseen wheel.
what? Is the wheel most powerful enemy of the whole thing? Like that caravan actually is the final boss. You're gonna see that at the very end. It's running at them.
oh, God.
It was weird. That was my only issue.
Yeah, but he was freaking salty about. I like how they did that whole scene too with Satella.
good,
and, yeah, like that's the most we've probably ever. That is the most we've got from
The first time we heard her speak, dude.
Yeah,
And she looked
And
like
we
Emilia
know-
in many ways.
yeah, we know like confirmed that Emilia is not the witch, is not Satella. She's just the vessel or like
Right.
yeah. So whoever the witch is or what the witch is, it's like some kind of. I don't know what the fuck it is. What is it, like a spirit or something, or some kind of like?
What's Satella?
Yeah, like the witch, because
Satella's their great witch, I believe, or something like that.
yeah, but they were. I remember them saying like, the witch or whatever has to take over a vessel, and that's what Emilia was going to be.
Right. Oh,
Right?
yes. Because they said that they apparently their whole thing was to look for someone that was suitable. She was just one they consider suitable. Like if they felt that she wasn't, they would just kill her. They didn't really need her for anything else. So that's why I remember Subaru got pissed off. I think it was last episode where he goes, "Oh, what is he just expendable then? As soon as if you can't use her, you're gonna kill her."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I did like about Satella, and I still think this is my biggest theory about this whole show, is that Satella is like powering Subaru up. Letting him die over and over again somehow is giving him strength, because just think about all the stuff that happens when he dies. It looks like he gets more and more closer to the witch's scent. Like you can start smelling off everywhere. People say that he just has this aura about him so that you can feel off of it. His own kind of powers seem like they grow a little bit slightly. Maybe that's why she doesn't care he dies so many times and hopes he dies, dies over like that.
Maybe like Emilia won't even need to be the vessel. Like if Subaru keeps using this like return by death and all that, maybe that's a way for the witch to come about.
Right.
So maybe there's like some kind of seal or something on the witch that like she like wants, or the witch wants Subaru to keep, using return by death or something.
I know in the comments people are like, because I've seen it already, where a lot of people are talking about Satella being a, not fully explored and not fully explained. I like I said before, I feel this ending is perfect for this because if they're trying to catch up with the light novels and all that, right? Think of Game of Thrones. One of the big issues, if you're a huge fan of Game of Thrones, one thing I know about Game of Thrones, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know about this, is that the writer had one big issue that the TV show caught up with his writings. Now, if you're an author, trust me, it's not freaking easy now to surpass something that's easier to be made time-wise than a book. And so now if they catch up, if they put every little detail and everything and they start catching up too fast with the light novels and all that, you're going to have this expectation now that everything's going to keep coming out on time, and it's not going to happen. And things are going to get delayed. People are going to lose interest and things like that. So what I felt was, okay, maybe Satella was not fully explained over this course of the series, but there's a lot of things that weren't fully explained. Like, what is the return by death really
There's
powered
still a
of,
lot more to it. There's still a lot more to it.
But you can at least have now more ammo for another season because you have so much to go off of.
Yeah.
And you don't want all of that one shot. I mean, I think people forget that it's okay to have a break in between shows. You don't need 50 episodes every week.
Yeah, and it's good now because now more of the light novel can come out.
Yeah, Tappei.
And that'll be more content to be adapted somewhere later down the line.
Right, and you can and people that watch the show, like, one thing we were talking about marathoning and all that is Travis said it best. There's an experience to itself of not watching a show every single couple of hours. You know what I mean? In the sense that you could watch and wait a whole week for something.
Yeah,
you can sit, you can actually take in the information, you can enjoy what you watched, etc. And if you're marathoning something, you can just go, oh, wow, you don't get that feeling anymore. I mean, you still might like the show, of course, but you'll never get the same experience of having to wait a week, like we did, for example, of watching a show unless you actually do that, which I think that would be weird if you actually – I wonder if anyone ever does that, by the way, that, okay, the whole series is out, let's do what everyone did and wait a week for every episode to watch.
Nobody probably does that. I couldn't even imagine. What would be the point of waiting
unless you're just one of those slow watches that literally
yeah,
watch
right.
an episode a day or something. Or an episode
it would
a week,
be
whatever.
if that really has happened for anyone, then it probably wasn't on purpose.
Right. No, I'm just curious though. There has to be someone out there that maybe is like that. Like, oh, I didn't get to watch it week by week. I'm gonna make it week by week. It's just watch it
and with the week thing, I'm pretty sure we have saw it and people in the chat have saw it. Right. Waiting a week has allowed a lot more, I'd say exposure to the series instead of just the series itself, because throughout the week you see people coming out with analysis videos, theory crafting, all that stuff. My boy Sun Wukong, dude, was pumping out theories left and right and shit for ReZero and all that. And I've saw a lot of other people too, analysis videos. Miles made one. There's a lot of theory videos and all that out there, and people would watch an episode of ReZero, and then throughout the week they'd be making these analysis videos, these breakdowns and whatnot. And if you're just watching it after the series is done, you're not going to watch episode 1 and episode 2 and so on and stop in between to make videos about it when you can just, when it's all right there. So it is definitely a different experience for sure, watching it week by week and stuff.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
So anyone else want to add to that part?
Nope.
No,
right.
Just a lot of there's still a lot of mystery surrounding Satella. We don't really we do know somewhat a little bit, but there still is a lot there shrouded in mystery.
Subaru? Why'd she choose Subaru?
Yeah, there's still a lot shrouded in mystery there. We don't even know why the hell Subaru was, how he ended up in this world. He just fucking walked. He walked it. Yeah, he walked outside and ended up in this world. I don't know if they're ever gonna touch on that or what the fuck, or if it's just oh, he's here. We're not gonna tell you how that happened or what the hell is going on or any of that. So there's still a lot of stuff shrouded in mystery in ReZero with Satella, especially, and a lot of other things.
Which is why
it would be kind of interesting to see if he one day went back to the real world and then he had to find a way to get back to the world.
I called that, man. I said the same thing a few weeks ago. Yeah, I know. I imagine that's gonna happen, dude. Every type of show that's like this always has that happen at one point.
I'd like to see what would happen, and how you'd get back.
Yeah, we still need more. We still have the freaking election.
Yeah.
Did everybody forget about that?
No, it's true.
The election we have, we need more of Reinhard. We need more of Felt. There's still like, oh man, there's so much.
Yeah,
more.
I would have loved to
Especially
like,
Roswell.
And
Yeah.
Roswell. Dude,
Where'd
Roswell,
he go?
that
He
dude is
disappeared,
fucking,
dude.
that dude fucking Houdini.
He disappeared. He's like,
Oh,
I ain't
man.
getting involved in this shit.
He's like,
Left.
Dude, he was literally gone for like the second half of this show, I swear. That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
They're gonna have an OVA surrounding Roswell just by himself on an island, going,
Oh,
"Oh man,
man.
I wonder what those guys are
But
doing
yeah.
right now."
Like, I would have liked to see like more of the characters in the last episode. You know, like we didn't see Cruz or anything like that.
Right.
We didn't even see Rem in the last episode.
Nah,
Yeah.
Rem, no one cares about Rem. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh,
It's a
no.
joke. I'm only joking.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so good, and I'm so sad it's
Yeah.
over.
It's gonna,
Yeah.
dude, just thinking about it, next Sunday, we won't have ReZero. Just like let that sink in right now.
Although-
no, it hurts, man. It
I
hurts.
think Haikyuu's a good replacement, so let's just look forward.
Yeah.
oh, you
Yeah.
got Steins Gate Zero coming.
Yeah,
But
Steins
dude,
Gate Zero
no,
is my-
Sundays without
cult nine.
ReZero, it's not gonna be the same, dude. It
Yeah.
won't
Yeah,
be
no.
the same.
We won't have any more like casts about ReZero occasionally, you know.
Yeah.
But
We might have casts about like Haikyuu or something. No, I don't know.
No, you never know.
But we're gonna have Keijo, but
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, Joe
That's
will
gonna be interesting.
savior.
I'm really curious about how that's gonna be.
we'll have more on that. But
Would you consider ReZero the savior of anime?
No, I'm not. I don't think.
dude, I don't even want to use that term, dude.
I know, right?
Anime is fine, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Save your anime. That's probably like everything's falling apart and anime's dying.
yeah, it's fucking
It's so
anime
depressing.
doomsday or something.
By the way, the answer Garo the Hero thing is Blade Team Emilia. I'm a Team Emilia / Rem. I mean, both of them are awesome. Shit. I mean, I do lean more toward Rem, but Emilia has her things too. So
Yeah, they both are.
yeah. I mean, you know, realistic. Like if
Awesome,
we're asking realistically, that is. But
I would say Rem, but I love Emilia too. Like I can't take away from Emilia at
I
all.
like Emilia's personality. I mean, because that airheadedness, not knowing fully like that, it's just I don't know, something cute about it.
Yeah,
But,
and she's just like been. I don't know. I feel for her because, well, I mean, Rem had some stuff too that went on in her past and everything, but like, I don't know, just how Emilia has been like discriminated. She's been looked down upon because she looks like the witch and all that. It's like,
Yeah, you feel
and
bad.
Subaru's been the only fucking person that's done everything for her, who's saved her multiple times, is just done whatever, honestly, for her, and she's never had that in her life, and
Right.
it's something special.
Yeah, just seeing Subaru's like the trauma that Subaru faced and throughout the series, like you know, hence the title From Zero to Hero. It's just like it was really cool seeing that being animated in these last few episodes.
Yeah.
Seeing the
definitely.
change in personality, you know, even with the battle with the white whale, he led an entire army.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, like
that-
like I was saying, he's freaking.
And,
He doesn't have to fight. He's a.
and you know what's funny? Like I know some people,
He wouldn't
because I
have
know
done
already.
that
Some
without
people
Rem,
would.
though.
What?
I'm saying he wouldn't have done that without Rem, though.
No, exactly. But I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah, definitely.
one thing I know people will say, well, oh, Subaru, you know, has the return by death, so you can predict what's going to happen next. That is true to a point, but the thing is that you have to realize that a smart person versus a person that doesn't learn from anything what they do, you can die over and over again, not learn shit from it in a show like this. And we've seen shows, I think, in the past that kind of done that, where people have died and come back to life somehow, or see, like Steins Gate, for example, a perfect example of this. Speaking of which, you know, Okabe doesn't really per se learn certain concepts. He's always charging ahead, but the thing is he doesn't learn, for example, that, you know, time's always against him. He just believes that he can do something. Subaru made stuff happen. You know, regardless of what you think, he made shit happen. He fell a few times. He got weak, of course, but he went from a guy who was a freaking shut-in to being a leader of a freaking
Right.
army. Dude, that says something. You know, and even if he
I
didn't,
love the development.
right,
Subaru,
and even
how
if he
they-
doesn't have the prowessness of a fighter like a knight or something like that, you don't always need that. You could
Right.
be a tactical leader and not have to do all the grunt work and stuff like that. That's nothing wrong.
Man, when
with
you
that.
got fucking Wilhelm, you don't need to fight.
or Rem,
Right? You could just point fingers and say, "Hey, take out this guy from me."
Wilhelm do that.
Yeah.
He's like an instant kill.
And it's
kill.
not like
Damn.
it's not like his character just did a whole like 180 like most shonen characters do or something like that, you know? I mean, he
point, man.
like there was like it took him until episode 18 in order to realize, you know, that he has to start putting an effort into everything he does if he actually wants to progress in this world that he is in. You know, he had to face a lot of trials and tribulations, countless deaths, seeing your friends die, you getting killed,
and living with that trauma,
all that shit.
You killing yourself because he killed himself a few times too.
Yeah, you had to go through all that stuff, and yeah, it's not like his character just changed overnight.
Right.
Yeah, dude. The character development of some characters is just crazy good. Like,
Definitely.
I mean, looking at Rem and, for example, you know, Rem and Ram at the beginning were like, "No, Subaru, your very existence was a mistake," or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, forgot.
And then
Yeah,
all of a
true.
sudden she loves him. It's like, oh, okay, fair enough.
I really want to know more about Wilhelm and his wife, though, in the EX novels.
Dude, that would be really smart, honestly, on their part if they did come out with like OVAs or something, like a little.
At least give us that. That would be.
Yeah,
A bunch of
Like
OVAs would be pretty sick.
yeah, just to like hold us over for if there ever is a season 2. But like we were saying, there is a lot more we still want to know and a lot more we want to see. But like this last episode, it wrapped it up perfectly, honestly. So I wouldn't even be mad, honestly, if there wasn't a season 2. Do I want it? Oh, hell yeah. But
Same.
would I be upset if there never was a season 2? No, I wouldn't be at all, because just how this ended, it was perfect. So, yeah.
I agree.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't be sad, because I would be sad if there wasn't a season 2 because of how good this series is and some of the things we still want to know about it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's
But
like,
it's not like I would just like...
no, it's not like the worst thing. Like Hunter x Hunter, for example, you know, the ending of the anime is a good ending, but it's not finished. So if it never came back, we wouldn't be as salty because how the ending was. So
and it's not like some shows that get left off on like cliffhangers and then never have a
Dead Man Wonderland and No Game No Life.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. Like this would be like if there never was a season 2, then this would be like a fine. Yeah, you'd look back on it and be like, "Oh, that ending was fine." But
Yeah,
we still, of course, we still want a season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyways,
Dude, Hunter x Hunter won't finish. Tagashi's just gonna end it after like 2 arcs, something like that. But you know, it doesn't take away how good the series is, though.
Exactly. I mean, just how it is. That's how it. I mean, I think we can all agree. That's one thing that we should all agree on is that if you are paying attention to the anime, and you noticed how anime usually typically ends on this either cliffhanger, read the manga type thing, you know, which I kind of hate when they do that. But there's a lot of shows that do that. ReZero has ended in a way that makes you want to go, I'm okay. Like that's something I don't get. That's why I told people like right at the beginning of this is that I feel it's so great because I don't get that too often. I always feel like, they could have did this better. Oh, they should have ended it this way. Oh, you know, why not this or that or whatever? And I don't feel that here. I just feel I'm okay. Season 2, I wish would come out. I presume all of us that love ReZero wish the season 2 came out. But if they don't do it, or if at least doesn't come out for a year or 2 years or whatever, you're not constantly going, why can't I get more? Why why didn't they end it this way? Or why did we not see this? Where are the conclusions I'm asking for? You know, only if you're. I think only the people that are super technical about stuff, you know, the ones that ask questions constantly, might have issues with this because those little things weren't answered. But for the most part, most people will say, in the end of the day, that this show ended perfectly. God's truth, it ended on a really, really perfect note.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so with that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can really cover. I mean, we talked about the whole show so far. We see that a lot of you, the comments, you know, and we do appreciate, by the way, that you have been very respectful. We see that some people do have different opinions from us, but have not said anything rude or obnoxious to people. So thank you very much for that. I want to say though, honestly, so let's say our final stuff on it, like our final scores. We said most of us already said 10 out of 10, but say why it's a 10 out of 10 for you beyond like just
all right.
simple.
Who wants to start off?
How about Travis? You start off.
I'll start off. Right. For me, this is 10 out of 10. The story was incredible. It ended off on a good note. The character development of some characters was just insanely good, especially Subaru and Rem. Love their characters a lot. Got one of my favorite characters, Wilhelm, in there.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good character, and his backstory was an incredible part of whatever episode it was. Can't remember what episode it was exactly, but yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10. Love it, and yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
All right, Nate, you next.
Definitely a 10 out of 10. I think you already knew that. But here's the thing with ReZero. I started watching seasonal anime like a year ago, probably like summer of 2015. I started watching like shows seasonally. This is definitely, without a doubt, like the best thing I've watched like seasonally. Like, of course, I've watched shows that have already aired, and I've watched them on the side and all that. But this is literally a show that, since I started watching seasonal anime, there hasn't been one that beat ReZero. There hasn't been another series that I had as much fun making videos over besides ReZero. So that's just one thing. But just what White Fox did with it in terms of the characters, what they did with the characters. There's going to be a character that you care for. Like, a lot of the characters in ReZero, you come attached to, and you want to know more about them. You want to see more of them. You become attached to Emilia in the beginning. Then you come attached to Rem, and with that arc, with Wilhelm and his backstory, this is just a few examples. You just come to love these characters, and I loved how they did that. Subaru's development from, I'm going to say, like, the 8th episode or so, I forget which one it was exactly, but the 8th or 9th episode onward was just incredible. Like, his development from the beginning to the end was something, but like, especially from like that certain point, it was like episode 8, and then when it hit the episode 18, when he, I'm gonna quote, he said like started from zero again or whatever, I think it was, but he like literally started from zero again, and from that point on to the end, it was just masterful, and I loved what they worked and did with Subaru's character. The art and animation was flawless, honestly, throughout most of the series. Yeah. Really good. The music was incredible. Both openings, both endings, the insert songs. A lot there. A lot you can take from it. Freaking, you had an episode 18 full of dialogue, and it's one of probably the best episodes of an anime I've ever watched. Like, only ReZero can do that. There's I don't know if there's any other show. There are maybe some out there, but ReZero, how ReZero did it, I haven't saw that yet in an anime. Yeah. But just so many powerful scenes throughout. It continually threw us through a loop. Honestly, it threw so many curveballs at us, through so many twists and turns. You couldn't predict ReZero unless you freaking read it. If you knew what was going on from reading it.
Yeah.
But like watching it week to week as an anime only, it always was leaving us off on these cliffhangers. You just couldn't predict it. Like, you'd say something, you try to predict the next episode, and then something completely different would happen. So yeah, it was such an entertaining thrill ride, honestly it was. And I can honestly say it's in my top 5 for sure. I'd probably put it I'd probably put it up there with like Gurren Lagann, Full Metal, E7, Code Geass, stuff of that nature. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, you couldn't predict it at all, really. Like, you think you're ready, on Twitter, you're like, I'm ready for ReZero, but then you come to the end of the episode, I wasn't freaking ready for that.
Yeah,
like
and just the little things, like, how many times did we even get like an opening or ending in the show? Like, there were so many episodes. Yeah, there were so many episodes where they cut out the opening, cut out the ending, and that's like 2.5, 3 minutes more content they're giving us, which is just fucking awesome, And it's just the little things that White Fox would do with the show that even made it a ton better, honestly. So yeah, that's probably my final thoughts. I hit a lot of stuff.
From starting ReZero, though, I never expected Rem to be one of those main focus characters. You're like, okay, she's one of these maids or whatever. I thought
she was. She came across as a side character.
Yeah, and then you're like, holy crap, this character development of her, Jesus Christ, what's happened here? It's crazy.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Just how they worked with it, dude. It's just, man.
So Miles, you're up next, by the way.
All right. So the rating we're talking about.
Yeah,
Rating
just
and
like
why you
your
like the show.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
All right. So, yeah, I like pretty much what Memory and Travis said. Like, I liked all of the parts when it comes to the characters, the story, how everything was executed. Oh my God! Don't even get me started on episode 15. Like
Right,
that was
exactly.
probably that was one of the most like insane episodes that I have seen in a long time. Like I've seen a lot of anime, but like when it came to that scene, like it was just great, especially how the credits started rolling. Everybody is in shock. Like I would go on YouTube and look up reactions to this just to see other people's reactions. It was like
Dude.
mind blowing. And episode 18 was great too. Episode 18 was great too because it showed two characters, just talking it out. And I never thought, that would be so entertaining,
Oh, crazy good.
like ReZero has had a lot of entertaining moments for me. The series is still shrouding in mystery, especially regarding Satella and,
A lot of other things.
a lot of other things, of course. But because of the fact that I had to, give ReZero a second chance, like I had to, it took me a while before I got invested in it. I'm going to have to give it like a 9 out of 10, but that's still a good score.
Yeah, it is.
That's still a good score.
Perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? Maybe like when season 2 comes out, now that I know that I'm actually liking ReZero, maybe season 2, whenever it does come out, I could actually really, really like it. It'll probably be a lot better, because we might even get a conclusion to the series, but that's not, confirmed because I don't know how much more Tappei Nagatsuki is going to have to write, but
yeah, but arc 4 supposedly is longer than the first 3 arcs combined.
yeah.
And it took them 25 episodes to adapt 3 arcs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently, I'm pretty sure we already talked about this, but the arc 3, there's like actually like a true ending that the episode didn't cover, but
Yeah,
sure
we were talking about before this.
Yeah, so
Yeah, supposedly we're not going to spoil anything.
No,
but
don't worry.
supposedly, all I'm going to say is that something was supposed to happen after that scene with Subaru and Emilia, but they're going to hold it off to season 2 or whatever. There's a continuation most likely, because if they would have did that, it would have been a cliffhanger we would have been left off on for season 2. So I like how they did it. And now, like I said, it gives them a lot more time to catch up, like get more of the light novels out and all that. So yeah.
And imagine that impact of watching the next episode and the first episode of the second season. Imagine if then all of a sudden they do something horrible or do something that's just like, whoa. That's going to be impact because you're going to have that right away at your face.
Yeah.
That could be really a good way to start off the first episode and actually go against what Miles said, because I know Miles wasn't a huge fan of the first couple episodes. I don't think a lot of people were against it, so don't feel you're not alone with that.
Yeah.
But having an episode that has impact, that hook right away, could just make it where people go, oh man, that's the ReZero I knew. This is what I've been waiting for, and love it right then and there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
All
for
right,
me,
your turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go last with this. So for me, 10 out of 10. I mean, I don't think, like I said, I put it in my top anime of all time. The reason I want to explain it to people too, because Clannad, like I said before, is my top anime. Well, was my top anime because it was something that. One thing I noticed about that type of show was that I've seen Clannad and Clannad After Story a good 5 or 6 times, each one respectively, over the course of my life so far, and I've seen it both dubbed and subbed, etc. But ReZero I've watched, and this is one time I've seen it. I really, be honest with you, I kind of want to rewatch it. Maybe a couple weeks from now, I'll probably rewatch it just because I want to so badly.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a nonstop roller coaster ride that has never left me disappointed. Every episode I've watched, I have wanted the next one. I've wanted more, and like you guys said earlier, with the whole cutting out the opening and closing, some people get pissed off at that. I think that is something that is brave to do. That is something that every anime is afraid to do, because that's right there is 3 to 4 minutes off a show. So instead of a 23 minutes long episode, you're actually getting only 19 minutes. In terms of ReZero, and people said ReZero was fast already to begin with, you're getting at least 20 to 22 minutes of content. That's something that's people don't think realize. That's 2 to 3 minutes extra. And that is something that's very rare. That's more work they have to do as creators and designers and stuff like that. I'm not getting the nuance behind it too much, but it's just more work for them.
Yeah.
Overall, every episode you could feel how much the author cared about the show, and I don't want to get too gushy with it, but you can feel how much they cared about this. Like, they really took care of the fans. They took care of the people that watch the show. They made something that I think they could be proud of in the end. How many anime can you sit back and think that even everyone was okay with it, everyone was satisfied with it, or that the creators felt like it was perfect, or it had, it could have been, it was this done this way, that you felt the ending was not rushed, that it didn't make you want to go read the manga or read the light novels or visual novels, stuff like that. Too often we're getting that, especially nowadays, because they're trying to push the sale of manga on things. Yeah. And I don't really personally have an issue with that too much. I don't like it, but I don't have an issue because I understand where it's coming from. In this case, though, I don't feel like I have to do it. I could read the manga, I could read the light novels on my own terms, not because I'm being forced.
You don't have to rush to it.
Exactly. I'm not being forced to do it because, the ending left on such a horrible cliffhanger that I need to see what happened further. No. It ended on a way that, okay, the light novels come out, I'll read them as they come out, the manga comes out, whatever. But it just ended on this strong, strong note. And overall, every episode, every single moment of the show, every character, every opening, closing, the show was perfect to me. I'll be honest with you. And people might complain, say it's not perfect, and it's your opinion. Your opinion is fine with that, because I don't think realistically everything maybe was perfect. I feel that way, but I can probably see it from an outsider's perspective that it might not be. It might have issues and flaws, but I loved it. And I got enjoyment out of it. I loved everything about the show. That's why I feel it's my favorite anime of all time now. And just overall, to kind of end it with that note, is this show did what I felt did everything right. And it's been a long time since I felt that way from any show. That I'm sitting here still talking about it, and we can talk about this all day long and feel like I'm not even scratching the surface of the stuff that's further in the story. Like, you can look at episodes, and I talked to someone, I forget who it was in my comments, but I talked to someone who's rewatching episodes, and the thing is that they say they noticed small little things that you didn't notice when you first do it, like characters saying something or hinting at something else. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And ReZero's a show you can do that with, probably.
Right, and it's rare you can do that with a show. I mean, you see a show and it's like, oh, did I miss maybe this or that? No, that is awesome. This show was phenomenal, bottom line.
It was good, yeah.
Definitely.
But with that, I think we said our piece with that. Honestly,
last off, I think we all need to thank the author of ReZero and the whole team working at White Fox.
Let's have a clap. Look, realistically, I know it sounds cool.
Because honestly, it was a treat for all of us, honestly. Right. So just all the hard work and dedication put in, because there are authors that will oversee like anime production companies like working on their shows, and Tappei was there the whole time, like honestly overseeing this whole project, and that says a lot about him and what he wants his work to be and what he wants to become, and it's become like a huge hit, a huge sensation. So many people love it, and it deserves it. It deserves it. Yeah, we'll look back on ReZero like many years from now and be like, damn, that was one fucking awesome show. Right. Like, honestly.
A lot of shows, man.
And just thinking about that right now, like, just picture yourself like 4 or 5 years from now, and then just looking back on like ReZero, your first time ever watching it, and you're just like, damn, that was something.
It's gonna be a while until I see another episode like episode 15.
Exactly, dude, yeah.
But yeah, definitely need to give it up to them, because they put a lot into it, and it was worth it. It was great, and nobody was expecting ReZero to be like this. Honestly, before the spring season started, all I said honestly was that it may be a dark horse, but I was not expecting it to be anything like this.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy it turned out this way, though, because it's a one-of-a-kind show, honestly.
Yeah.
I got something to say.
What's up?
All right, so I want to thank everyone here in the Otaku A Team for dealing with me.
What you do was wrong.
I'm just kidding, but no, I want to thank everybody who
came back to it.
I want to thank everybody who ended up joining the stream. I mean, we've had at least 90 people in this stream. We almost have 100. That was pretty awesome. We have 404 subscribers at this given moment in time, which is awesome. And I also want to thank everybody who has seen our content individually as well when it comes to ReZero. because there's been a lot of support on each and every one of our videos, and we can't thank you enough for that. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can go ahead and close it out. Like,
I think that's it.
Oh, I think that was a good way. I mean, I really just I think on behalf of all of us here at the Otaku A Team and just general, thank you for showing us love that our 400 subscribers might not seem like a lot to people, but it is something that is impressive nonetheless. It took us work. It took us, many, let's say, hardships in terms of getting things set up and all that. So we appreciate that. I appreciate you guys being so respectful because, I mean, for the most part, we've never really had a problem with the comments and all like that. We've had maybe 1 or 2 incidents over the course of how many casts now? Like 26 almost, realistically, maybe even more than that. Honestly, that's awesome, you guys. And I just want to say thanks for coming out today. Like Miles just said, we had so many people watch. That was awesome. Let's hope we can do that again in the future with something else. If we see another great show come out there, we'll try to do with these things once in a while too. Hopefully we can get everyone, like Habit too, to come and join us. But hey, like any other show, sometimes you have people that dislike something. That's nothing wrong with that. You can't hate them because they just don't feel the same about the show like you do. But we can tell you guys really love it. So thank you for showing the support to us, the show, and everything else.
Round of applause to the audience.
Right, yeah, round of applause to you guys. You guys are awesome.
It was great. It was great.
All right, with that, we're
It's
wrapping
sad
up.
we won't have it next Sunday, but
Yeah.
we'll make it through, guys. We'll make it through. We'll make it through.
We'll say episode 25 plus discussion and thoughts. Anyway, we're wrapping up with that. Everyone, talk to you guys later. Have a great day, everyone.
See you guys.
Thanks for watching.
Video.
Peace
Adios.
out. Adios.